Craig, thank you for having us. Introduce yourself and tell us what's going on here. What have you got?
Yeah, I'm Craig Matthieson. I'm here with Climb3R. We deal with resurfacing of products around the UK. So if you climb on it, it has a texture, then we resurface it.
Okay, amazing. What have you found gym owners are wanting from your services? What's been the main driver for you?
I think the main driver is a durable product. You know, you're investing in holds all the time, and so when you come to resurface, you want to ensure that investment in resurfacing is going to give you a durable product. It has to feel good for your customer. It needs to last. It needs to look good, and if you can tick those boxes, then hopefully we've got a successful product.
Are you able to customize the product sort? Can you go like granular, like coarse or fine?
Yeah, and it's been something which has proven quite popular in terms of being able to provide a different type of frictional feel, a different type of texture for different types of holds. So and as well as different sort of grade bands as well. So if you can adjust the amount of grip that you have in a hold, you can make those hold sets work better with the angles that you have in your wall. So certainly that's a feature which has been quite popular.
Yeah. What sort of testing have you done with durability after the fact? I know the climbing walls use a range of cleaning techniques, everything from a jet wash to a diesel jet wash to even acid washes.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you've done a lot of research and testing into how they hold up against those.
Yeah, and we're also in constant dialogue as well with our customers, making sure that they're happy with the products, through spot visits as well, just to make sure basically that the holes are performing as we would like throughout the life. Even when you look at R&D testing, there's only so long you can do that for. So it's always good to be able to, go back and visit and say, well, how are those holes 2 years in on a wall? Because as resurfacing, it's a fairly new service to the UK, and so 2 years is pretty much the lifespan well, not the lifespan, but 2 years is the extent of the products in customers' hands. So we can go back and look at that and make sure everything is as it should be. Then it just helps to boost that product moving forward.
Yeah, amazing. Along with a retexturing service, do you also offer a refurbishment process, like bringing volumes back to life, bringing holds back to life?
Yeah, so with volumes, we deal with that. We resurface panels as well, so we can bring the visual appearance of a climbing wall back up to where it would be as new. I think that's quite important as an intermediary kind of stop check within the life of a component, that you can actually bring its visual appeal up. You can make your climbing wall look as good as it can be without going to the extent of actually putting a whole new wall in. With volumes, again, midway through that life, we can kind of reapply the frictional coat on it. We can change the colour to it. We can make it look new again. With holds, we can resurface almost continually. The view with a hold, if there's an example of view with something like this, is that you should be able to resurface that for as long as the underlying structure stands up to the pressures of being a hold. It's going to be continually flexed with people's weight on it. It's getting screwed and bolted to a wall. All of that impacts stresses. So as long as the underlying structural material is good, then you should be able to keep resurfacing as long as that material lasts. So it's a full life activity. Yeah.
What sort of turnaround time are you working with? I know saying it's obviously different being given a crate of holes compared to 10,000 holes.
Generically within the UK, we always endeavour to meet a 4-week time frame. So that's from the holes being given to us to actually returned within 4 weeks. And so it can be done quicker if you've got a real kind of immediate need. If you had a comp set that needed to be done and suddenly you realise that in 2 weeks' time you're missing some holes from a set, there's not a problem. We can resurface something and provide you with a solution within quite a short time frame like that. But normally we say 4 weeks. Yeah.
What sort of price range are we working with?
So you're working typically within the UK. If we look at the most popular hold sizes, so footholds, for example, I think we resurface, but actually a lot of the holes that we actually resurface end up being footholds, around about sort of 10 centimetres in diameter. So you're looking at around about £5 to resurface something like that. A typical handhold, let's say 20 centimetres in diameter, you're probably looking around about £15 for something like that. So the costs are certainly cheaper than if you were buying a new PU hull. You know, but if you're looking at polyester resin PE, the unit production costs of those mass-produced are still very, very low.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to kind of breach that price point. So we're kind of cost comparable. Therefore, when you're looking at PE, it becomes a matter of sustainability choice. Which do you feel happier, you know, parting with your cash in? Do you want to buy new, or do you want to resurface the holes that are there? You know, and it's a choice, and that's down to the wall owner's individual kind of preferences.
Yeah, amazing, brilliant. Thank you for that.
No, thank you.